Computer, there we. Oh, all right. Speak soon. A drop of rain will never understand an ocean. A leaf will never understand a forest. The wind will never understand the eternal energy that blows through the universe. The fish will never understand water. And man has a difficult concept understanding spirit. Cannot perceive spirit. At best will know of the qualities of spirit, but will never perceive the enormity and the full potential of spirit that exists all around each individual. And because man will never understand spirit, it tries to define spirit in form and structure and give it names that are some deity or some quality. And then the individuals have statues of this deity, or maybe pictures or photos or posters or even banners declaring that this is their deity. Or this is the scripture that one follows, or the beauty of the words of love that one aspires toward. And when man has one of these statues, he very quickly gains another and another. Letting go of the first to admire the second, and then the second to admire the third. So is it a problem that man has so many statues or deities that one aspires toward? You see, spirit is in all form, beyond all form as well. And therefore, spirit is in the statue as well as being all around the statue. But the statue is only of use as it is a central point of focus for the individual. One can focus their love, their attention, their consciousness, their sense of self into a statue. Because in the heart of all being, that's where it belongs. But one may just form a habit and have no quality in their connection or devotion towards the statue of the deity. So one can go to a church or a temple and receive little benefit if one is not truly present. So if you look at the posters and pictures you may have, I'm sure in many of them, you could look at them a little deeper and discover something you haven't observed before. Or you can look deeper still and feel the very essence that is truly in that picture or statue. When you achieve a point of connection with an individual, let's say your child returns home from a trip away, or your soulmate walks through the door, or you walk towards the altar and receive a blessing. Do you not do all of these things and instantaneously close your eyes? Do you not hug a loved one and close your eyes? Do you not focus on what is to be given to you with your eyes closed? You see, the perception is not with the eyes. The truth is with something far beyond the physical eye. Initially, you would say it's with the heart, but it's beyond that as well. So as you connect to that individual with your eyes closed, you are connecting to the truth of yourself. And you connect to that truth, and then the other person is not actually required any longer. You have found your truth, at least for a period of time. And you can sit in that truth and connect to the truth because it is the truth of you. Let us say that I give you a new photo of the deity that you honor and worship. Would you not hold it to your heart and close your eyes and feel connected to it? So what is the point of the statue and the picture unless you bring your full self to meet the statue or the picture? And you could have that picture in front of you with your eyes closed and get more benefit than chanting 1,000 verses that you may do very dryly because you have been taught to do so. The statue will have done its job when it has connected you to the essence of you. Rather like the raindrop, when it finds its essence, then it will understand ocean. But not before. To look around your home, look around your place of work or place of worship. Have you lost your focus and attention to it? Have you closed down your sense of self to that photo of your loved one, which sits just to the side of you? Have you disconnected from yourself and just take life as life without the beauty that you possess within you? You see, many people chase knowledge and find they learn many different things. And then they like to tell the world and say, look what I know. Look what I learned today. I understand this. When they acquire knowledge quite dryly, then this knowledge becomes very unstable, as it is likely to change when one understands a little deeper or understands other perspectives or opinions of other people. But rather having knowledge as something one acquires, bring it into the depth of your being. Change knowledge into experience and true connection. See it for what it is, and let it be an essence of you. Then as you tell others what you know, you are expressing your true self. So that knowledge then flows through your heart, not just out of your mind. When your heart's involved, is not the knowledge more beautiful? Does the other not connect to it at a far better rate? So many times I'm sure in your life you come to a certain situation where you may have a choice of two things to do. Should I take this job or that job? Should I be with this partner or that partner? Should I move from this city to that city? Now, these aren't small decisions, they appear to be quite large. And you will play with them in your mind over many hours and days. You may procrastinate on them for even months or possibly years. And you try to decide, is it the left hand or is it the right hand? What am I most drawn to? What will give me the most benefit, the biggest love, or the most happy? And you change your mind constantly between the left and the right. You change during your day, and each day is different. And you carry this uncertainty, and your heart may tell you one way and your mind may tell you another, but you just do not know what to do. And becomes to such an extent there is much agitation and turmoil that you have. You just cannot make this choice. And these are just the pleasant choices. If you add in ones which may cause you a little discomfort, then there are a lot more. And it becomes a lot more difficult for you to make it. So how do you make these decisions? How do you decide to just get up and go? Well, if you see the truth of what is occurring, then it becomes completely obvious of what you should do. And if you are studying this with myself, you will understand this. The first thing you should do is step back just a little. And you should step into your conscious self and see your left hand and your right hand. And you should know that whether you go left or you go right, it is all just an experience. You will not be made any greater or any lesser. You are having just an experience either way. And then you should hand over the decision to spirit or to your creator and say, I cannot decide. The important thing is this is an experience, and I will have love whichever way I go. You make the decision for me, and let it be thy will and not my will. And you then hand that decision to the higher source, knowing that you are just the one that watches the life. It does not matter which way you go. So let one who has more knowledge than you make the choice. And if you can do this purely, and if you can do this with a sense of truth, if you can connect your heart to it, not to the decision, but to the one that is making the decision for you, you'll find that all your agitation around that event or that choice will start to diminish. And the answer will become clearer to you. So just as the raindrop doesn't understand the ocean, it must step back and see its true form of water, its true form of beauty. So you step back and you honor your connection. You honor who you truly are. And your choices are not made by you any longer. You are honoring your creator. You are honoring your sense of observation. You are honoring the truth of love. And you have experience of the beauty that will flow through you, and not just the changeable knowledge that may influence you one way and then another. So when you look at your statue, your photo, you walk into the church or the temple, if you walk in as a physical body, then you will experience so little. But if you walk in with the sense of your true essence of self, you will walk hand in hand with your deity. And as you do that, then in the simplest of ceremonies, the plainest of photos, the old dilapidated statue that you may have, or the torn picture, the essence is still there, no matter how rusty and dull. So as you see your statue, do you see the statue? Or do you see what is truly beyond it? And then you take your worship, your connection, your truth of self, from worshipping a physical form to the knowledge of what is beyond the physical. You don't worship the drop of rain, but rather the water. You don't connect to a physical body of another rather than their truth of themselves, which is no more than you anyway. You don't fall in love with the body, you fall in love with what is beyond and deeper than a body. And yet sitting all around you are all these statues, icons, lucky charms that you have failed just to reconnect to their truth. So the statue will give you just a point of focus and therefore has some use as long as you recognize its truth in it and in you. So I challenge you to take just one of these things, no matter how small it is, from a dusty crystal you keep to the side, to the photo of your relative that is on the other side. to the statue that is gathering dust in a wall or on a wall somewhere, one that you perhaps have forgotten or pay little interest. Take it off your shelf. Initially look at it and then close your eyes and connect to its essence. And the statue will take you back to your true self. Not in the form, not in the flatness of the photo of your relative, not into the dust that sits onto its surface. But if you have that truth of that picture, the essence of that person is still there. You've just walked past it 100 times and have forgot to hold it next to your heart. So in particular, if you have a photo of a relative that has passed from your world, take them, hold them, then close your eyes and let them guide you to your truth. Your truth and their truth are exactly the same thing. And therefore, with your relative, you can be one. Once more. With the essence of your statue, you can be one if you look beyond its physical form. If you look at your living dog or cat or bird, look into their essence and become one with them as well. Sit with your friend in truth and become one with them as well. You close your eyes in recognition of where your love truly lies. Does it not feel a little greater when your eyes are closed? So let us move on to the healing list of names. May I have those, please?
Yes, thank you. Graham and Wendy, Charlotte, Darren, Evie and Olivia, Matt and Laura and Molly, Max and Mike, Grace, Shelley and Carrie, Taylor, Craig and Amanda, Hannah, Matt and Peta, Caitlin and Gareth, Natalie and Maddie, Chantel, Michael Caputo, Joy and Corey, Roz, Howard and Chris, Kathleen and Anne, Karen, Ross, Lily, Amanda Kay, Alex, Rob, Susie, Aiden, Abby and Brett, Eric, Stephen, Matthew, Marianne, Jody, Don, John, Britt, Danielle, Andy, Mason and Mirabai, Douglas, Susie and Kevin, Maheshwari, Coulter and Rosa, Tim, Kathy, Vera and Beth, Helen, Adriana and Cynthia, Daniel, Meg and Stan, Brian Stern, Dave and Keiko, Mitsuki Kai, Marty Youngman, Wendy Lund, Gary, Lorna, Rick, Kate, and Philip, Linda, and of course, may all be happy.
Let all of those names be held in heart. We've been walking a path of vibration. And we've been saying that there are heavier vibrations which may restrict an individual to the point that they do not wish to move. So heavy is their burden of shame or despair, hopelessness, endless grief, that they cannot step away from the pains that they endure. But after a period of time, one begins able to move. And when they move, then they may at first feel some fear, but they step forward with this feeling of fear that they recognize within themselves. So they begin to shed the heaviness, but step forward into life with fear in their heart. And now the attributes of movement start to be with the individual. With fear in their heart, they can step forward just a little. And they begin then to want certain things. They may want company, friendship, maybe an asset, maybe a job. And so desire then is born as one desires one thing, be it material or not. And they feel like now that they can live a little more of life and desire these things, which will make them feel a little better. But our next quality of anger may be born. And if for some reason that desire is held back, restricted, or not possible, then a feeling of anger can arrive. Anger may come in various degrees. And if you look at times when you feel angry, you may see that the anger is just the desire that is held back from you. You wanted something, but it was frustrated. And potentially anger then starts to arise. So this anger may be quite excessive or very mild. One may say it aloud, or one may sit on it and let it bubble on the inside of one's being. And this anger, although it is a higher vibration than desire, it may express in forms quite simple as resentment, frustration, agitation. So this type of emotion, resentment, is based still in a frustrated desire. And if one was to be narcissistic, one holds that anger and desire within themselves, thinking that it is the external world that is holding back what it truly wants. And therefore, its anger must be expressed outwards towards either a person or event, a place, a circumstance. And they see that the other person is withholding what they truly want, and therefore they are angry to them. This is not actually the truth, but that is what they feel. So the narcissist expects the world to deliver perfection to it all the time. The whole of life goes through smoothly, all the cars get out of the way, the parking space is exactly when and where I need it, and my dinner is on the table within 30 seconds of me walking through the door. So the narcissist expects the world to conform to its internal desire. See, it's not anger that is actually the problem. That's just the expression. It's the expectation. So the narcissistic ego expects the physical life to conform to its internal requests. And if it's not met, then that person may have a chip on their shoulder, may go all quiet, never talk to you for a week, may hide, may be sullen, because they have a request internally that wasn't met, and therefore their happiness has been held back from. So the anger is actually a reflection of a lower vibration of desire. Now, this is easier to see, perhaps, in a narcissistic ego. But how often do you withdraw from the world with your resentments, with your expectations, or the expectation that life must just come to the way I want it to be when I want it to occur? Are you angry because there's rain on the day of your picnic? Life will just be life. Your interaction with it will cause you your frustration if you are not based in your essence bar. So notice when you stand back and withdraw or close yourself down from it. And no, you haven't connected to your true essence. Know that you have put all of your source of self in the physical form. You've looked at the statue and think it's going to take me to enlightenment. You think the priest, the rabbi, is going to take you to that point. And it's not your job. So every frustration you feel has an underlining false belief that if left to grow, your false belief will become egotistical and potentially narcissistic. So there are ways around this. Of course, the easiest and obvious one is to have no desire. Another is to worship the desires and needs of another. Another is to find one's truth and help or encourage, if it's applicable, the other to acknowledge one's truth. One should see what is occurring with true sense of self. As your frustration arises, you look and say, what's being held back from me now? Why am I looking at the limited instead of the unlimited? Another way is to surrender all desires to Spirit. Leave it at their feet and say, you decide. As we detailed in this example a little earlier. You decide, because I am just loving awareness. And I will have an experience whichever way. You surrender control of life to them. But if you do not have initially your awareness and your true understanding, then you will not see this. You will not see that your mild or meager or gentle dissatisfactions and resentments, at times you have a chip on your shoulder, are based in your false requests and desires and expectations of the world. You either see the world to be problematic and difficult for you, or if you can accept it, it's a natural flow of events. Then you open away from fear, desire, and anger into acceptance. If your desire is truly frustrated, accept. It wasn't meant to be. And find the truth of you, your love essence. Close your eyes and feel, rather than believing what you see. The eyes give a very limited view. Feel, but not outwards, inwards. Is it true? Because there's a frustrating driver in front of me, my day is ruined. And this driver needs to go and get more lessons. Is that true? Or is my expectations what's causing this? To anger, then, can only be a slightly higher vibration than desire. And therefore, anger can also lead to positivity. There are many causes in your world that, because of someone's anger, has led to benefit. This is not an anger for self, but an anger for change. But one must watch how the ego attaches to that righteousness of change. The ego will attach to it if it can and say, my sense of self is standing up and fighting the good fight. And therefore, the anger will win or lose, and the ego will grow or shrink. But you are unaltered. So don't let this anger, even if it is with the best intention, become who you are. Step back from form. Notice you close your eyes when you want that essence of truth, because it's inside and not in that external. Hold your photo of your relative or the statue of your deity. Let your heart connect to it once more. And be one in truth. No desire will mean no anger, no resentment, no frustration. Acceptance and peace. And then the drop of water, the drop of rain, will know its truth. Far beyond the knowledge someone says to it, but because it knows. No knowledge will touch it. It knows. And you should know too. You are beyond all the physical world that you see. You are the stillness that all of that agitation gets piled upon. So first be your stillness. And let the stillness take care of all action. I'm sure that sounds familiar. Base your next few days in your observant self. What desires do you have? Until next week. God bless you all.